Today we are going to be discussing a citation that the Illinois Department of Public Health recently issued to Aperion Care of Wilmington after a resident there suffered a fecal impaction, which resulted in a rupture of his colon and requiring removal of his colon and placement of an ileostomy. My name is Barry Doyle. I'm a lawyer in Skokie practicing nursing home abuse and neglect work throughout the state of Illinois. I'm also the author of Built to Fail, a free report available for download from my website, which spells out how the nursing home business model inevitably results in unnecessary injuries and deaths for nursing home residents. The resident who was involved in this particular incident was somebody who suffered from mental illness and was on psychotropic medications. One of the things that's well known about psychotropic medications is that they increase the risk that the people receiving the medications will experience some degree of constipation. When a nursing home resident is on psychotropic medications, one of the standard measures that is put into place in a nursing home setting is to develop a care plan to address the risk of constipation. Typically, that care plan will include monitoring the resident for signs and symptoms of constipation, as well as tracking their bowel movements. When a resident has periods of prolonged constipation, this creates an increased risk that the resident will experience some degree of fecal impaction. What fecal impaction is that there are hard balls of feces that form in the digestive tract, which are simply difficult to impossible for muscular movement to push through down to the end of the digestive tract, allowing them to pass the balls. This can create abdominal pain and other digestive issues, and taken to the extreme, it can cause perforation of structures within the digestive tract. When there is some degree of perforation or rupture of the digestive tract, the contents of the digestive tract spill out into the abdominal cavity. This causes an infectious process known as peritonitis, and that's a very painful condition. It's one that's very difficult to resolve. It often requires a prolonged course of IV antibiotics. Often it requires multiple surgical procedures, and frequently it requires some removal of some structures within the digestive tract, often a section of intestine or the colon. In this particular case, the resident was discovered on the day that he was taken to the hospital to be in bed, bleeding from the rectum. The staff saw that there was blood within the toilet, and the resident was brought to the hospital. The resident underwent a CT scan of the abdomen, which showed that there was free air within the abdominal cavity. This is a sign that there is an actual rupture of structures within the digestive tract. The resident was brought to surgery, where it was discovered that there was a complete rupture of the colon, that there was digestive contents throughout the abdomen, and that there was extensive evidence of infection throughout the abdominal cavity. Furthermore, they found that there were several large balls of feces in the digestive tract. There was also evidence that there was some necrosis of the colon. All of this is an indication that this was a condition which had been present for a matter of several days. Ultimately, this resident ended up having multiple surgeries done. He had to have his colon removed, and then had to have what's called an ileostomy, which is similar to a colostomy, placed to allow feces to be removed from the body. When the Illinois Department of Public Health went to the nursing home to investigate this particular incident, they questioned the staff about the tracking of bowel movements in the resident's chart. It became evident from the questioning that was placed by the Department of Public Health to the staff there, that there was no good tracking of this resident's bowel movement habits. The staff members who were questioned were unable to explain the various things that were recorded in the chart. So the ultimate conclusion of this was that the resident's bowel movements weren't being tracked in any kind of meaningful way. As a result, he undoubtedly experienced constipation over a prolonged period of time. We know this given the findings during surgery with the complete rupture of the colon, the necrosis of the colon, and the multiple large fecal balls that were discovered during the surgery. So this is a condition which ultimately should have been very preventable. If this resident was experiencing constipation, there are a number of steps that can be taken to help the resident go to the bathroom and resolve this fairly simply. It can be a matter of giving laxatives or stool softeners or any number of other relatively mild medications that would have helped the resident go to the bathroom, and this really catastrophic outcome would have been very easily avoided. However, for the staff to do this, the basic task of tracking the resident's bowel movements had to be followed, and obviously it wasn't being done in this particular incident, with really lifelong catastrophic outcomes for this particular resident. I hope you found this interesting. If you have any questions regarding this or any other nursing home abuse and neglect issue, please feel free to reach out to us. Our number is 312-263-1080, or we can be reached on the internet at www.accidentlawillinois.com. Thanks for watching.